Did you think teaching your child to speak would be easy? I did. I taught 425 speech delayed children both online and offline, but it was a grind. I wish I'd known how to do it smarter. So, to help you make teaching your child to talk easier, here are 7 things I learned that will help you teach any child to talk. Lesson 1. An Indonesian mother tried so hard to connect with her ASD daughter. Every time she tried, the 11-year-old would say, "Mommy upstairs." It wasn't until she led with what she liked, making video toy reviews, that her daughter started to accept her into the play sessions. Since then, they've been making videos together. Her daughter started to speak in full sentences and even went on to be the Christmas event MC at school. Lesson 1 is lead with rewards, not after your child speaks. Which brings us to lesson 2. A mommy from Malaysia used to make her son speak before giving him a cookie. It would go back and forth and she'd say, "Use your words," and prompt, "I want." And finally, he'd say, "I want cookies," and she would give the whole piece and run away. I told her to give him in small pieces, crumbs even, and prompt 100%, meaning asking him to imitate the whole sentence instead. By the 6th piece, he was saying the sentences by himself without any prompts. When that happened, I instructed the mother to give a much bigger piece. And now he walks up, says the full sentence by himself because he knows he'll get it faster if he speaks and use the whole sentence. Lesson 2 is give in small quantities regularly instead of one big reward in one go. Lesson 3. As an American parent showed me a video of her working with her son at home, she was well versed in speech therapy techniques and did everything correct. She'd narrate everything, pause, observe, whilst creating a play scenario to make it all fun. The problem was, he wasn't looking. He didn't care at all. So instead, we engaged him in something he truly loved: animals. We taught him a new way of playing with them. For example, lining up all these toys towards the Noah's Ark with a strong story involved. After he learned this, the next time the mother was able to follow his lead and inject the appropriate language goals that she was trying to do. Lesson 3 is follow your child's lead only when you have joint attention established. Lesson 4. An Indian boy with a genetic disorder was on a strict diet. He was nonverbal, and all he cared about was his little laptop device that would make animal sounds when you pressed on the buttons. His mother didn't give any junk food until I convinced her to give some potato chips and taught him to imitate actions and learn sign language to get it. She was so worried that he'd only communicate when he wanted the chips, which was so true for the first 2 months. Fast forward half a year later, this boy became verbal, played with all the toys, and this was because we established a relationship with her child where communicating with us is the reward. Lesson 4 is build a working relationship with your child and you won't need rewards anymore. Lesson 5. The same Indian boy was stuck on imitating sounds for 6 months. Then, when he finally spoke, it took him another 4 months to say real words that were understandable. Once his mother understood she needed to be consistent, she realized why he hasn't been talking even though they've been going to therapy for 2 years prior when we start working together. Progress takes time. Lesson 5 is it won't work for a long time, even if you're on the right track. Lesson 6. 3 years ago, a Chinese mother was telling me how her in-laws were giving in to everything her son wants too easily. Then I told her, if you want him to talk, you cannot demand others to follow your rules. We must show them with results and action. So, we took 4 months to teach him to talk. He started speaking words when he wanted something instead of throwing tantrums, and now his grandparents would wait for him to speak before giving him whatever he wanted. Lesson 6 is you cannot control what other people do. We have to focus on what you can do. Which brings us to the last lesson. An Irish couple consulted us because their doctor had suspected autism as a diagnosis. Yes, there were symptoms of autism, like no eye contact and not following commands, but I persuaded them to start teaching at home so that we can get a better understanding of his language profile. Half a year later, his symptoms got better, and we found that there were specific sounds that he was mispronouncing. So we told them to get a hearing test done, and it turns out there had been a middle ear infection all this time. After getting his hearing cleared up, the symptoms subsided and it was much easier to teach the language goals. So last lesson is symptoms don't dictate teaching goals. Choose goals that address the root cause. All right. And then you know exactly what to work on. Although all these lessons that I've taught you are incredibly powerful, if you don't learn how to get your child's attention, none of them are going to work. Watch this video next so that you can command your child's attention and keep it. Then your child will start speaking to you. All right. That's it for now. Thank you.